All right, awesome. So our Fortune 5 marketing metrics. We got to figure out, we need to lay in the foundation here. What are our metrics? What's our data points, right? So first of all, we're going to take an average care plan price of $5,000. Now that is by and large the average cash care plan price for spinal decompression, peripheral neuropathy, knee pain, you name it. Now it may be a little lower in more rural areas. It may be a little higher in more urban areas, but regardless, it's about $5,000. And that's not a, by the way, if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if people in my area will pay $5,000. Yes, they will. Trust me, they will. Don't worry about that. That is the least of your worries. Okay. Now, conversion rate, 50%. You should, if you're getting, good quality patients coming in your office, you should easily close at 50%. So we're going to use that. And then also consistency, quality, those two things equal momentum. So I want you to kind of just keep that in mind. Number one, so this is the first of 5. We're going to use what's called email Nirvana, right? And the goal here is to build your list of patients on your email list as if you were building a treasure chest with a whole bunch of gold in it. Okay. I know you may not think this way, but this is, again, I'm trying to kind of teach you here. This is where you want to be moving to. It's okay if you don't have a big email list now. You may only have, 3, a few hundred on it. It doesn't matter. Make it your goal, right? Starting tomorrow, start putting all your existing patients, look, have a staff member, go through all of your past patient lists and make sure everyone that has an email that they, put onto their paperwork, that's going to go into your patient database. You're going to start to email them once a week. Okay. And every time you email them, you are going to provide value. Okay. And when I say value, these are things that they can do and get good results from, right? 3 things to do after getting into a car accident, 5 stretches to do at night to alleviate back pain. 3 ways to differentiate between a disc problem and a common sprain or strain. Those are value-based emails, okay? They're focused on your niche, right? So those are obviously all if you were going to do spinal decompression for disc. So you would do the same thing for a peripheral neuropathy or knee pain. Focused information, right? And good quality value that they can't just, Google in 2 minutes, right? And then you always have a call to action at the end, right? Very simple. Hey, if this is something that you would like help with, please call our office at blah, 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 or click here to schedule online. That's it. Super simple, right? It's a very, what we call a soft call to action. We're going to give value, 90% value, 10% call to action. And now what can we expect from this? Well, if we have about 1,000 subscribers, okay, 1,000 people on our email list, and we're going to email them every single week consistently and deliver value, we can expect about 4 new patients a month. Okay, so at $5,000, that's $20,000 in revenue. And you may be thinking, wow, maybe I should start building my list. Yes, you should, right? Because if we have 1,000 people receiving our emails every single week, and we get about a 30% open rate, which is a common open rate when you communicate regularly with your audience. So you have a 30% open rate. So that's 300 people every single week that see your message, right? And resonate with it. All we want out of that is 2 consults and 1 new patient, right? Does that seem crazy? Because it's not, right? Because 1% of, so 300, 1% would be 3. So again, these are very conservative numbers, guys. That's my whole point here. So email Nirvana, build your email list. Okay. Get consistent, right? And again, consistency and quality will equal momentum. Will you get 4 new patients your first month? No, I'm not saying that. I'm always conservative in my estimates. What I'm saying is if you do this consistent, say you do this over 90 days or 120 days, that's when you'll start to see these numbers. Okay. It's worth it. Build up your email list, email them once a week. You write the email. You don't do this. You don't farm this out. This isn't your social media company doing this. You sit down 30 minutes on a Friday or whatever day you have off, and you write this really good value post, break it up so it's easy to read. You're going to start to see great results. So that's email Nirvana. Number 2, organic Facebook fan page, what we call social love. We got to share the love, guys, 3 times per week. Okay. Again, if you want to have your social media company, or there's a million of them out there, but if you want to have your social media company put up the pretty pictures and the little quotes and all that type of stuff, that's fine. That's totally fine. But they don't really resonate that much, to be honest with you. And what we want to do is we want to connect. That's why people are on social media. People are so distanced these days. So they're looking for connections through social media. When they start to see a doctor that's actually posting, that's when the connection grows, because they're going to engage, they're going to laugh, or they're going to like it, or they're going to make a comment, and you're going to respond, and people see, wow, the doctor's actually responding. That's so cool. Okay, 3 times a week. And again, got to provide value in the form of education, hope, or both. Again, we're going to be focusing information on your niche. And here's how I'd lay it out. Monday, you're going to put a picture of either you or a staff member or a patient, or your office, or just some nice picture, and you're going to put some type of quote about health or something about hope, right? And it's kind of nice to have a picture of you, because then the patients start to connect with you, right? So you could just, like, literally one day you can have your staff member say, hey, I want you to take pictures of me all around the office for one day. I want 50 photos. And don't tell me that you're gonna take the picture. Just do it, right? Get me writing notes. Get me adjusting. Get me putting a patient on spinal decompression. Put me consulting with a patient, greeting a patient. Like, just get a ton of photos. And then what you do, you go to canva.com, canva.com, and you put that picture of you, and then you fade it, right? And then you put a quote over it. That is here, because they're connecting with you. They're seeing the doctor doing his work. You have a cool quote by, it could be a Martin Luther King quote. It could be, a Hippocrates quote. It could, you know what I'm saying? Like something hopeful or something about health. That's your quote picture. And that's that you do that on Monday. Wednesday, testimonials, video, written, doesn't matter. You're doing testimonials on Wednesday. Friday, you're doing lives. You're going Facebook Live. And by the way, I recommend using Facebook for your social media channel. You can, if you're really adept at Instagram, you're getting traction there, great, do Instagram. But Twitter, don't do Twitter, don't do Snapchat, don't do LinkedIn. Just Facebook is really the best one. That's where most people are at, and it has the best tools for what we want to do. So on Friday, I recommend doing Facebook Live. And you know what? You're going to talk about the same darn thing you just wrote about in your email. So we are repurposing content here. I don't want you to recreate the wheel, right? And if you're not comfortable with your Facebook Lives, that's okay. Okay, don't worry about it. Get in front of your computer, press record and to go live, and just do it. Okay, just do it, because it's a skill set like any other, and you will get better. And you just have to structure it out. Hey, this is Dr. Leone coming to you live from New Life Wellness. Today I want to talk about the 5 stretches that you can do at the end of every day to minimize your chronic back pain. How does that sound? Great, awesome. Now, if you have any questions as I go through this, just put them in the chat box. Number 1, and then you go into it. And then after number 5, you go, hey, by the way, if this is something you're suffering from, don't suffer in silence. Call my office, gosh. And or you could visit. We even have an online scheduling. Go to here, put that in the first comment, blah, blah, blah. That's your soft call to action. So you're delivering value. You're focusing this information on your niche. And then again, you have a soft call to action at the end. And you can, if you want, then if you find good ones that people are kind of reacting to, you can even boost them, for $20 or $50 to your fans on your fan page and their friends. So now, again, if you get consistent with this and you're posting 3 times a week, you're doing your lives, you're providing good value, 2 new patients a month. Okay, not a lot, not a big deal. All right, so that's organic Facebook fan page. Again, guys, consistency, value equals momentum. Now, internal workshops. We're going to call this internal love. We're sharing the love. Now, we just want to hold one per month and do it like the last Tuesday or Wednesday. Usually Tuesday, right? Because Wednesdays there can be church things, functions. Thursday, people are kind of getting ready for the weekend. They don't really want to go to a doctor's office. I don't think. Friday, throw that out. So Tuesday and Monday, forget it. Monday's Monday. I mean, I like Mondays; they're fine with me. But most people don't like Mondays, so do a Tuesday. That seems to work best. Now, we're just going to do one a month. Okay, just one per month, because if you do it too much, then it turns into a grind, right? It's stressful on you, it's stressful on the staff. So just do one per month. We're going to promote it 2 weeks prior. So say it's Tuesday the 25th. Well, just go back 2 weeks prior to the 15th, or if you want to go, you can do 10 days prior, two full weeks prior, 14 days, but it doesn't matter. 2 weeks prior, start promoting it. Promote it in the office, right? Get those little cheap sign stands at Staples or Office Depot, whatever. Have your staff member design a super simple sign that says, "Hey, chronic low back pain workshop, this Tuesday, the 25th," and put those all over the office. Buy 10 of them, put them all over the office. And then you just set them out, right? And put them in your email, right? So in the 2 weeks prior, you're gonna say, "Hey, by the way, did you know that in your PS, by the way, did you know we have a chronic low back pain workshop at the office? Give our office a call or click here to sign up." Facebook, post it on your Facebook, right? 2 weeks leading up. Postcards, if you want to put a little money into it, if you have 1,000 people on your list of active patients, you can usually do postcards for about 50 cents a card, right? So $500. Dump $500 into promoting your internal workshop. If you do a newsletter, which most doctors' offices don't, but if you do, put it in your newsletter. Okay, your presentation is going to be based on your niche, obviously. So, and do your presentation. Now, I obviously have tons of training on how to do successful internal workshops, but speaker training and staff training, all that type of stuff. But the goal here is just keep it simple. Okay, we're not looking for a ton of we're not looking for 20 people to show up, by the way. Okay, so if your office isn't huge, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I have enough space," blah blah blah. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're only looking for about 8 people to show up and 6 to make appointments. Okay, and then we want to close a little bit more, a little higher rate, because these are warm patient leads. Okay, so we're going to call that 4 new patients. And again, keep it simple and keep it powerful. In other words, your message, your presentation should be about 20 minutes. Then you have a nice little 30-second transition into your close. Okay, and your close is where you're going to ask them to sign up for a paid consultation, right? Or you could do a free consultation with a paid exam, however you want to do that. Point being, keep it simple, keep it powerful. You just don't serve food. Okay, just do water, cold water bottles. That's all you need to do. If you want to do a snack, keep it super simple. But you don't need to, right? We're going to do these right after you close, and so patients can get home for dinner. But with all that promotion, right, internally with your in-office, your email, your Facebook, your postcards, etc., you should, if you're doing 100 visits a week at a minimum, you should easily be able to get 8 people to show up. You get 6 to make appointments. You should that's a pretty common conversion, right? If in any type of workshops, I've done a million of them, but you should get about 75% to make appointments of the prospective patients, not their staff. You don't count their spouse or anything like that, but you get 8 people to show, 6 make appointments, and you close 4 of the 6. Again, we have a little higher close rate because we have these are patients that already know, like, and trust us. 20 grand in revenue. How cool is that? Let's move on. Number 4, paid Facebook ads. This is how we can scale up, okay, and really start crushing. Now, again, starts with education first advertising. Now, what the heck is that? What that means is from start to finish in our advertising process, so from the ad to the landing page to the follow-up funnel to the web, we have a webinar, we have our follow-up emails and texts, all have information that is continuing to educate the patient, position you as an expert, and always have a call to action. That's education first advertising, right? We're teaching them We're telling them why what we do is so much better than everything else that they've either tried or they're considering. It's just crucial, right? It positions the doctor as an expert. For Facebook ads, I like to drive to a webinar funnel. And again, what that means is we're going to do education first Facebook ads, and what that looks like, they're just long form ads, right? So right from the get-go, if someone's like, I don't want to read all that, well, you know what? Then they're probably not a good candidate because they're not that serious. So if someone's going to read the whole thing, they're going to start to learn about their condition, right? They're going to start to learn what is one or two things that, gosh, I've tried that you're right. Yeah, that doesn't work. And they're going to click on it. Then they're going to go to your landing page, right? Then they're going to learn a little bit more. Then they're going to enroll to get their free consultation or whatever the thing is. And then as soon as they get to that thank you page, boom, they get hit with our webinar, 18-minute webinar, right? Again, now we get serious about our education. We go soup to nuts on all things disc conditions, right? Or all things neuropathy related, or all things knee pain related, and all moving them into this position where they see you as the best, most viable solution, because you are, right? And then the drive to action is to call the office. And again, they're going to get follow-up emails and texts and all that good stuff. But our goal is to get them to pick up the phone and call your office. And those are gold, right? And then we'll top it. We usually top that off with a traffic flood campaign. So again, if you're saying, well, how do I implement this with my current Facebook marketing company? Tell them this stuff. Again, I hope you're taking notes. Now, what is a traffic flood campaign? Well, traffic flood campaign is a very simple campaign that Facebook offers. It's literally called a traffic campaign. And what they do is we're just going to send patients to your website, okay? And not to the homepage, but to the page that's dedicated to, spinal decompression or neuropathy, whatever that page is. And you want to have a lot of good quality information on there. It's nice to put a patient report on there. I tell clients to put the webinar on there. And then again, what happens is patients will just start calling once you run this campaign for a little bit, 2-3 months, you'll just start getting calls, right? Well, I went to your website, saw it there. And then that's kind of a nice combination. So between that traffic campaign and our paid Facebook ads, which is called a conversion ad, 5 new patients. And in terms of what you would probably need to spend, about $1,000, about 200 cost with CPA or cost per acquisition. So 5 new patients, 25 grand in revenue, okay, from our paid Facebook ads. And by the way, if you want to spend more, then you put more money in the thing, and if everything's working, you get more money out, right? But we're just shooting for 10 to 20 here. We're not trying to go to 20 to 30 or whatever. We just want 10 to 20 new patients a month, and we just want 5 new patients from our paid Facebook ads. What we're trying to do here is create stability through diversity. Okay, you never want, with marketing, you never want just one thing going, because if that thing goes sideways, then your new patient numbers go sideways and your revenue goes sideways, right? So that's why I'm doing this Fortune 5 pack, because I want your town to kind of get like blanketed by you. They see you on Facebook. They have friends talking about you. They get on your email list. Now they're going to get communicated with you that way. In a second, we're going to go through the newspaper. They'll see you there, right? So it's this kind of a blanket effect on your town, where it's all about one niche, right? You're being positioned as the disc guy, or the neuropathy guy, or the knee pain gal. You know what I'm saying? And you become the expert. You become that specialist, the go-to person for that particular niche. Let's look at number 5, the newspaper. What I call the forgotten well. No one uses it anymore, right? I love the newspaper. I mean, they're getting thinner and thinner, and they still like to charge us lots of money. That's okay. That's not that much. But the newspaper, man, great demographics, right? They're older, they own their home, they have our condition, they trust the paper, they read it cover to cover. Great demographics, so this thing is just money. I love the newspaper. Now, I like to use what's called an advertorial format. So in other words, it looks like an article, but it's an advertisement. So, and you can do inserts or actually just put that into the paper, either way. But that the ad that I've written, and write for clients is, again, it looks like an article. And again, education first, right? We walk patients, step by step through the process. Hey, this is the doctor, and he decided to focus and specialize in this condition because this was happening to these patients, right? Everything that doesn't work for that particular condition. So he found this new solution, and it's this. And look at this testimonial, and these are the things it treats. And hey, this is our offer. Come in and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So it walks them through a path that educates them, kind of entertains them a little bit, tells them why what they're probably doing now and is not working and why, and then call to action at the end. So for about 10,000 subscribers, which is probably costs about $1,000 if you're doing inserts. And on the paper, like if you're actually in the paper and you're going to do a third page or half page ad, that just varies so widely. It could be a couple grand, who knows? Could be less. I have patients that are clients that are in rural areas, and it's like $500. So it's just going to range. But the point being is, if you can get to about 10,000 subscribers, you'll get on average about 12 people call, and then you get about 8 people that actually come in and sit down and do the consultation with you, and you close half. So you close 4. So that's 20 grand in revenue. How cool is that? Love the paper. Now let's look at our totals here. So email, investment, just time, right? New patients, 4, 20 grand in revenue. Now we have our organic Facebook investment, 0, just time. New patients, 2, 10 grand in revenue. Internal workshops investment, I'd say about $1,000. New patients, 4, 20 grand in revenue. Paid Facebook investment, about 1,500 for both campaigns. New patients, 5, 25 grand in revenue. And newspaper investment, about $1,000. New patients, 4, 20 grand in revenue. You see that diversity, right? Stability through diversity. Remember that. That's key in marketing. Totals. Total ad investment, $3,500. Total new patients, 19. Total revenue, 95 grand. Wow. How cool is that? Now, you may think, that seems lofty. Well, okay, say you did 10 new patients, right? You invested 3,500, and actually, so our numbers are cut in half. You did 10 new patients, 50 grand. So would you invest $3,500 to get 10 new patients and $50,000? Yeah. So even at the most conservative, 10 new patients, you're still at 50 grand. How cool is that?